Hello and welcome to another episode of the Vault Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host, MrMac, disappearing and reappearing as always just at the start of the podcast. Now listen, this has been fraught with technical difficulties, so if you're a visual watcher, I want you to count how many times that I freeze. And you can take all the screenshots and send me them because it's going to be an absolute time. I'm so glad we've actually managed to fix one technical difficulty already in the form of the computer absolutely going to shit the bed, so to speak. So we're here. It's a brand new year. We haven't podcasted since May, believe it or not. So we've got plenty to talk about. With me, as always, for episode 30 of the Vault Dwellers Podcast is Gary Moore. Gary, what's happening?
Oh, episode 30 and we are dusty as fuck. Gonna need to blow the cobwebs after this episode. That's why we brought in our third contender over here.
Absolutely. contender and current champion, we should say, and Rahul Ahoop. Rahul, what is new? What is happening?
What's up, guys? Good to be back. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year, man. It's good to have you back, as always.
Thanks, man. Always a pleasure to be on the podcast. But yeah, it's a new year. It's a new league. We're ready to go.
It's a new start.
It's been good.
Certainly a new start. I'm not entirely sure it's going to be a different result, mate, but it's a new start.
I have some confidence, man.
Mate, I think you had it one in like the second month last year. Like we were like, right, what can we do to really fuck with him? Right, he's used to being able to do this and this, so let's make it that he can't pick in, and then he just absolutely fucking does us in. So.
I didn't get to draft. Maybe I just get to pick what was left.
That's it. Maybe we should do that. If you win two in a row, then we get to pick all your picks for you or something. I don't know, something fucking stupid. Something like who doesn't actually get a pick whatsoever. Starts on -50, something like that. I don't know. It's just we'll see how vengeful we are. We were speaking a lot about that vengefulness and spitefulness. We'll see why when it comes to debuting our team names or publisher names. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's Fantasy Critic. We've been doing that for, I think this is our third year now. Rahul joined us for the last, and it was pretty good, pretty unique in how we decided to manipulate some of the rules, despite the multiple warnings on the screen telling me that this is too difficult, don't do this. We done it, and it was difficult, very difficult, because you really had to think, and you still do, we'll get to that later, but you still do have to think about what you're going to pick and what you're going to avoid, because we had done like a no dropping rule and things like that. So yeah, it was pretty fun. How did you find that no dropping rule? Just approach it a wee bit differently, Rahul. You've got 5 leagues on the go. I take it nobody else does this kind of thing. So how do you find it?
No rules faze me, man. I got
this. Well, yeah, that's fucking good. It doesn't matter.
No drops, no picks, like whatever, man. Bring it on.
Oh, I love it. It's good. It's a nice wee interest, and it's something different for us. Obviously we do a lot of different things on this podcast, whether it be reviews, video game reviews, film reviews, TV series, that kind of thing, and then we also do a lot. Last year we done quite a bit of conversational podcasting, where we come on and we each bring a different topic to the table, which was great. We kind of debuted that a little bit last year. Introduction of Hoodie, I should say. Sorry. Again, we've obviously mentioned last year and in Hoodie's absence, being that obviously he's taking a break for some time. We'll have him back somewhere down the road, I'm sure. But until then, myself and Gary and probably some guests into this year. If I'm honest, the actual thing that has plagued us last year in terms of not releasing stuff from May has just quite simply been video games and our fondness of playing games, because I know, imagine that this unique character trait that we have and hold so dearly, but no, it's really, if I'm honest, just down to the fact that Friday night we don't have a lot of time, so Friday night is our dedicated gaming time, and it's also when we record the podcast, if we record it. And there's been a few where we thought, do you know what, let's just sack the podcast tonight, we'll just play games instead. So That's what it
That
is.
is shocking.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Behaviour. Terrible behaviour.
Playing video games, God forbid.
Imagine that. 2 lashes for me. So it's just is what it is. We've got to we've just got to go with it and hold ourselves accountable. If you want to say that, but it's at the end of the day, this is fun and a good passion project for us. And if we're not feeling it or not feeling that passion, then I think it's just got to be put on ice for a wee bit and brought back out. So I'd actually probably want to thank you more than anything else, Rahul, for giving us a wee nudge, and especially obviously you're thinking about the league as well in terms of get that started. But you asked us a few times at the end of last year, we were kind of nudging each other to kind of go right.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the content. I just want to see the podcast back. So
appreciate that.
I will continue nudging away throughout 2025.
Yes,
don't worry.
Absolutely. We've got a few wee ideas, and if I'm honest, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get some. I know we did the quiz. I don't know if it was last year or the year before now. Actually, at this point, because it was quite a while ago, we did your quiz that you hosted, Rahul, and
the Metacritic quiz.
That's it. I would love to get that booted back up again. I threw a wee surprise one in last year, because they're just so much fun. They're so fun.
Yeah, we can make it happen.
Aye.
Who won that, by the way?
I don't know.
Oh, dear.
History will never remember. It doesn't.
No, I don't. I'll never ever remember. That's what it is. Okay, so we wanted to also acknowledge. So I want to kind of address this one at the minute, because as much as we're here for fun and laughs and everything else, unfortunately, during the break, the Christmas break, the others were called in January. Our good friend Al Trisman, Al the Predator Trisman, as he's often known in the circles, the kind of funny circles there, he unfortunately passed away during the break. And given that Al was a big help to us, especially starting out, we got a few YouTube strikes with our royalty-free music, believe it or not, and we approached Al and gave him very, very little instruction on what we wanted as an intro song, and we literally just gave him, I think, 1 or 2 small directives, and he just went away and we said, we want this, kind of like this song, this style, and he came back at one point, and I think there's only one edit, and I'd say to him, I says, can you not give us it so clean sounding? And he was like, I'm so glad you said that. Being a musician, Al, it was the first person that I thought of, and I was like, just get it, raw, just get it. That's why you can hear the amp plugged in, that kind of thing in our song, in our intro music. And he was like, I'm so glad. He's like, because that's what I was having the trouble with, is clearing it all up. And I went, nah, no for the Vault Dwellers. We don't need any kind of fancy stuff. We just absolutely want a nice feeling. And I would have loved to have shown you how Rahul reacted in our video a minute ago there, when we were doing the intro. He's strumming along, playing the intro as he's gone. So yeah, I'm over the moon with what Al done for us, and just a huge shout and mention, obviously, our thoughts obviously with Al's family, and just worth mentioning. I'll not throw it around the room. The echoes, I'm sure the words, the boys will agree everything that we're saying, in that sense. So I appreciate the time that we have to be able to say something, and I appreciate that, being able to actually take this to the platform and do that. It's hard to transition out of something like that, so I will just address the very slight technical difficulties that we seem to be having on the video format. I don't know if I see Gary messaged me there, just mentioned there's a few slight hiccups in our
there we go.
in our networking. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know if it was probably going to be in and out video watchers. I'm hopefully that the audio will still carry through with the guys, but thank you very much, and we love and appreciate Al, and very obviously saddened by the news.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, buddy.
Rest in peace out. Okay, onto the shenanigans, as I would have wanted, onto the nonsense, as he often did in the OU podcast. Honestly, that's just my favourite time. I was speaking to Ben about that recently, that they would have this really nice, respectful discussion about the new girl on the OU pod. If you haven't listened to it, go and check it out. It's superb. They would be just talking about it, breaking down the episodes, whatever else, and then all of a sudden they would just start arguing with each other when it came to choose. I think it was who was the best character, who was the standout character of that episode, and they just went in on each other on it, and it was so funny, really, really good. So yep, I was as big as a fan of any at shenanigans, and that is exactly what we're going to have today is shenanigans. So we've asked a few questions before we come on here, but I feel like we're just going to throw it back to our guys. Just a wee warm up question, find out how you have how you been over the last wee while. Obviously it's not been since May, so you know we've only got so long here before you need to hit the bed, man. But for how you've been over the last wee while, Christmas break, that kind of thing, you feeling re-energized, ready to go?
Yeah, no, it's been quite nice. As you said, we've had a nice bit of time off with the podcast. Not that we didn't want to do it, but we've just been kind of playing games with each other, catching up quite a lot, been going out quite a lot with actual socialising in real life. I mean, for God's sake, I mean that's just not allowed. Going outside, but it's been really nice. Kind of just been doing just working and away and stuff as well. But been all right, been good, feeling good.
Feeling good. No, that's good. No, I don't want to put too many bars of that song out there. You know, might get another strike there. Another strike. Rahul, your break went pretty well. I take it. All good. Feeling refreshed.
Break's been good. I mean, yeah, it's been, I guess, since May. I got a new job, which is very exciting.
Hey, nice.
And then in between my jobs, I had like a long break as well.
Oh, nice.
So like I went to the States for like 3 weeks, just to live my American sports dreams. I think I watched 2 NBA games, a college football game, an NFL game, and like a minor league hockey, like ice hockey game.
Is it
so I was just living the sports life. Oh, I was loving it.
Is it as mad as it looks? Like,
I can't even begin to describe. Like, as you can see, I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. I went to watch an NFL match in Philadelphia in the main stadium.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just incredible atmosphere. Like,
nice, man.
I seen some. I seen some of your pictures, the highlights, the food, good old American barbecue.
Yeah, I was in Texas for a week and a bit, and man, I ate good.
I can imagine. I can imagine. There was one point where I seen there was like pictures. Obviously, you share. Obviously, like you were sharing everything that you had, and the stuff that you had on the first plate looked like too much food. And then you had another plate with this big fucking massive bit of meat, and I was like, fucking well done, man. Like, I would have killed all that. Like, no rest, stayed there for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Like, I would have, God, I would have told that to pieces. So, it's big up.
Had to be done when you're out there.
Oh,
and then, Christmas, New Year's was good, like, very relaxed with the family. Just the kind of usual, like, board games, Christmas movies, junk food. Napping a lot, playing games.
A lot. Oh, mate, I love a good Christmas nap. See a nap when you're at work. Oh, superb. Feels like it's not a waste of time or anything. Just the amount of times I was sitting playing on the Steam Deck, and I'm like,
oh, nice. Yeah.
Nodding away. Oh, absolutely superb. Absolutely. We'll stay with you, actually, Rahul, and we'll just ask you just a wee kick-off question we've got. Fantasy Critic's going to come soon, don't you worry, guys. It's our time here. We've got the I've actually got my literal slippers on, so we're taking it nice and chill. But we were kind of looking and thinking about what it is and reflecting on last year, what we've been playing, that kind of thing. Have you got some kind of thoughts or some kind of things you want to bring to the table for what you've been playing since the last time you were
oh man, I mean, the one game that I have to mention, just the phenomenon of last year, Balatro. It's Balatro, of course. Man, I have got over like 100 hours in Balatro, and that's that's not even that much compared to other people, but man, I just love it so much. And the thing that I love about it is it came out of nowhere. Like, I don't think there was any fantasy league, like any fantasy critic league that had drafted Balatro. No one even knew what it was, really.
Yeah.
And then I remember the week it came out because, I'm into like, I used to work in a casino and like I used to be like a poker dealer. So I like card games and stuff. And then like maybe like 5 people texted me in the space of a week being like, hey dude, you should really check out this game Balatro. And I was just like, what is this? Like, okay, I guess. Like, it looks pretty cool. And then 100 hours later, like one of my most played games of 2024 by far.
I haven't played it, and Gary hasn't played it, to my knowledge.
No.
Hasn't played it.
Okay.
So sellers on it. What actually is it? I've never looked it up because I don't know. I wasn't interested in a different game, but
it's hard for me to just like neatly articulate what it's about. But effectively, it's a roguelike deck building game, but it's sort of based on poker mechanics. So you have a certain number of, like, you get dealt a hand with your regular deck of cards, and then you need to make poker hands to get points. So flush, straight, 2-pair, whatever. And then once you, like, each round has like a score target, and when you hit that target, you go to the next round. And then in between rounds, you get things to modify your deck. So you can add cards to it, you can remove cards from it, and then you can get these things called jokers, and they basically manipulate the way that you score. So, for example, you might get a joker that says, oh, you get double points if you play a flush. So when you are building, when you complete the next round, you're trying to get flushes. And then the next joker you might get in the next round says something like, oh, like hearts and diamonds are considered the same suit, and clubs and spades are considered the same suit. So that helps you if you're trying to go for flushes, because that combines with the, so then you keep going. So it's roguelike in the sense that every time you complete a round, you're modifying your deck. And then, you're just trying to get the highest score that you can get. And it can get game breaking. Like there's a little bit of maths involved in it. And there are people who have broken the game because of some of these mechanics. And it's so fun, like so satisfying.
Is it on mobile?
And the coolest thing, it's on mobile now, I think. I think it has come to mobile now.
Right, okay.
And the crazy thing, it was created by one guy.
One guy,
one
is
dude.
that?
One developer, and then it was published by a company called PlayStack.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Is it your PC, PlayStation? What is it that's?
I'm playing it on PC. I have it on Switch as well.
It's everywhere, isn't it?
It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's my shout out of 2024. Had to be.
It had to be. I like that because it's one of the. It's unique, I think, in terms of what we would usually play, and I like a good card game, but I get quite fed up with it, so I tend to wholly play in games like like Red Dead, stuff like that, where it's like within a game. So so I'm not only playing that. Especially like say poker, although I was on a 9-hour flight for Mexico, and I sat and played it in Mexico, Texas Hold'em, and
nice.
On the way to Mexico I got absolutely taken apart, would be the only thing, dismantled, robbed, and then on the way back I'm like, do you know what, this is a computer I'm playing against, they don't know that I've got a wee bit of aggression in me. And I just decided to go big, and it was working. So I was just bluffing my way through, taking,
that's the way to do it.
Taking the pot every time, take the pot, wee bit, and I managed to put them all out. Like dominoes, they just fell.
Love it.
Never felt better than taking fake money off fake people. It was superb, absolutely superb. Anything else, Rahul? You got anything else comes to mind? That's your standout.
Like polar opposite to Balatro, another game that I've been playing throughout. I've been dropping in and out throughout 2024, but it launched super early in January. I've been playing it on and off. Is Tekken 8. Like,
oh, right, okay.
Man, I've never really been like a big FGC sort of fighting games person.
Yep.
But like this game just keeps me coming back. I've actually tried to sit down and learn a character. I wouldn't say I've been successful in that, like, but I think I know enough to hold my own against like a sort of average player.
Right. Okay.
Like,
Listen,
I'm definitely like, I'm definitely not good enough to beat like someone who's actually like part of the FGC and like competes in tournaments and stuff.
Aye.
You know, if like I was just picking up and playing a match with one of my friends in the arcade, I think I could hold my own. You know, as long as they're not pro player. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. The soundtrack is incredible.
That's what I was going to say, actually, the soundtrack, because you were buzzing about the soundtrack before the game came out, were you know?
I was, and actually, as sad as this may be, my top artist on my Spotify Wrapped was Bandai Namco Sound Team.
Oh, well.
I think that just says everything you need to know, really, about that.
Listen, hats off to you, man, because that's something. See, when you find something, like, it just clicks, like, there's no getting away for that. It doesn't matter what kind of. It might even not be, like, every year that you get into that type of game, but when that kind of thing, like, falls into place, like, it's just, just something I love. Finding a good fighting game, but I've not played one since what was the DC ones? Is it
Injustice?
I played them back in the day, and I quite enjoyed them just for the story and whatever else. But I don't have the coordination anymore to play them whatsoever. I don't know what it is. Just my head wants to do something, and my hands are just too far behind.
I mean, it is stressful. Like, it's not your sit down and have a nice evening playing. It's like, if you're playing online, you are like locked in, like using your brain power to like do, you know, you're not just chilling out, you know. So it's a different kind of vibe.
Aye, that's pretty cool though. That's pretty good. What about you, Gary? We'll come back to the Hovies getting in there, but what about yourself, mate? Any standout-ish games?
So I started this year as I was going to do like a sort of catch-up year, and I've played quite a lot of games actually. I'm just sitting looking at my PlayStation trophies, and they've played fucking quite a load of games. So I started the year off with Marvel's Midnight Suns, and I absolutely loved it.
Wow.
I loved it. It's such a good game. I quite like XCOM games as it is, but it's just kind of took that formula but just changed it with superheroes and made it a bit easier. But it was so much fun. I didn't even think I would like it as much. And as like characters that, like Doctor Strange, for example, like in the movies and stuff like that, you're just like, oh my god, this guy's fucking shit. But in that, it was amazing. He was one of my favourite characters. One of my favourite characters in that game.
I like Doctor Strange from the movies. What?
Oh no, he's so bad. He's so bad. All the characters you see and you think to yourself, boring bastard, you know.
I think he's funny, man. I think he's funny. He brings a lot of humour to the things, you know.
He does. I'll give you that. With his cape.
His
cape is probably more fun. His cape's probably more funny than him, to be fair.
Oh,
so that kicked off my sort of superhero thing. So I went through that. Then I did Batman's. I did the Batman trilogy again, which I really enjoyed playing again. And Arkham Asylum held up so well. City Disney as much. And then I played, what was the last one called again? Arkham Knight. I played that, and I got right to the end, and there was a game crashing bug, literally in the last mission, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" And I remembered, because I could remember it was the last mission. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to watch the last like 10 minutes and just like not uninstall it because it was just going to do my tits in if I just didn't see the end of it. And then that spurred on me playing Injustice, which you just talked about. I played Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, and then that spurred me on to go and play Spider-Man. Well, I played Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and I tried to do Spider-Man 2, and then by that time I'd absolutely kicked the arse out of superheroes, and I was like, right, I can't play a superhero game for a while. Definitely.
You're talking about getting caught up, but if you just be playing games that you played already for the
well, aye, pretty much. I was supposed to be a catch-up year. And I just played games I already played. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I have been playing in games in between, but I wouldn't say any of them are like standouts, if you know what I mean. I think mainly standouts have been the games that we've actually been playing in co-op.
Which
has been quite a lot, and they're very meaty. games we've been playing. Do you want me just go straight into it and then just we both can go for it?
The co-op ones, leave the co-op ones in now. I've got something to run through, and then we can come back if there's any other main ones around about them. Because do you know what, I've been holding on to this for a while because I needed some inspiration and some motivation. And I always go to my man Gary anytime I need this, right? So basically, I was a wee bit.
Lord help you, man.
I know. Tell me about it. I know. Between the two is it's a bad combination, but it works on a good day. It works. But I was halfway through the year. I think. Do you know what it was? Actually, it was more than halfway through the year because it was end of August. I'd said to Gary, I says, look, I need to get back on track. I need a target, a goal, something that I'm going to, by the bells, what am I going to have finished? What am I going to be playing? Because before that, I was just, I pick a game and I just sit and play it for till death. And I think Farming Sim might have been the one at the start of the year for that. And I thought, you know what? So Gary said to me, right, get 3 solo campaigns and 4 indies. So that was from the end of August, so September, October, November, December, 4 months, 3 solo campaigns, 4 indies. Doesn't sound a lot, but for a man like me who's easily distracted and plays about 6 games at a time because he just doesn't know what to fucking play, that was my target. And he was also saying or a co-op game that we're playing, potentially Tom Clancy was his wording, and we did actually end up playing Tom Clancy, but not only did we play Tom Clancy, we actually started, I would say probably what was that at the start of the year, we did play a wee bit of Helldivers. I think it was the very first kind of co-op game. Didn't play that for too long, right? And I felt I wasn't quite as into it because I was fucking shite at it. We played Helldivers 2, which I'll pass to Gary in a wee minute because he's probably going to be all over that, or I can imagine it might even come up later. But we did the Helldivers 2, and then we ended up on, for some reason, I don't even know why it took it this much a notion, but we ended up playing Mud Runners, which if nobody knows what that is, obviously it's.
I'm not coming across it.
I was shaking his head. So it's basically you're in these kind of trucks or jeeps, and effectively it's got kind of ground mechanics for like mud, and eventually SnowRunner, which we came on to play. There's kind of snow and stuff as well, but basically you're kind of stuck in mud, and you've got to try and get yourself across the map. And we played it in co-op because. One person, when you get stuck, you tip yourself over. So between the two of us, we managed to kind of keep ourselves right. And we kind of played all of the maps on that. So you have to basically deliver logs across the map. It was pretty good. It sounds, I'm underplaying it a wee bit, but it sounds kind of dull, but it's fucking funny. When you're just trying to kind of get one place to the other, and the more you drive over a certain bit, the more muddy it gets and more mucky it gets, so it remembers what path you've took, and you can get stuck the next time you try and go over it. So we played that to death. And
like a traversal. The best way to describe it is like a traversal puzzle game that has problem solving. That's just what it is.
Absolutely.
It's just that.
From the sound of it, it kind of reminds me a bit of that game Chained Together. I don't know if you've played that, but
I've seen it. Yeah.
We were certainly chained together quite a bit trying to get through them. But sorry, I'm waffling a wee bit going on to these because it's such a tangent going off on these co-op games, because that's the reason we've not been podcasting, not honestly, but we've been playing so many of them. But I'll go back to Gary on them. But so my target 3 games and 4 indies. So for the indies, so this was starting obviously in August. I managed to take down, I didn't count Trying, which I was halfway through at the time, so I finished that, and then I played Still Wakes the Deep, which was pretty good.
Nice.
Really good Xbox Game Pass game, and I really enjoyed that. So I've counted that as maybe an indie because it is a shorter experience game. So there's kind of one nil on the indie front there. I managed to finish Dredge, which was really good. If anybody's managed to play that, it's really good. The Plucky Squire on the old PlayStation. That was something unique and different. Really actually enjoyed that game. It was a bit of a challenge and a few bugs here and there because I played it right at the start. But me and Gillian played the first of the We Were Here games. Don't know if anybody's heard them. We Were Here. So it's like you basically have like you've two people playing, but you can't see their screen, they can't see yours. You'll be in like a room and they'll be in a room in the other side of the wall, and you've got to basically just try and escape this. The first game's a castle, and you're blind kind of thing. You've got to say like, right, what have you got? Oh, right, I've got a thing on the wall and it looks like this and this, and you've got to try and describe puzzle pieces and stuff to the other person, and then try and work your way out. So they'll be like, oh, I've got a triangle and a square, and I'll be like, oh, well, I've got a lever here. It's that kind of thing, and it's really really good. There's loads of little puzzles and different stuff. So we've got about 4 of them to play. We fucking argued quite a lot playing the first one, so we've just put it on ice now. It was so good. Nice arguments. But it was like, I've got this. I don't even know what you're talking about. All that kind of stuff. Like, it's like, just look at the fucking screen. No, because we're in the same room as each other. And I'm like, no, that's cheating. Like, because I'm on the Steam Deck, she's on the big telly, and I'm like, right, I'm just not going to look. Oh, can you just look? Because you can just look. It'd just be easier if you just look. And I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. So we've bought them all, but we've put it on pause, and we'll get back to them. The trial was playing It Takes Two, which we started yesterday. So we're a few chapters in on that, and we're actually getting playing it quite well together. So managing to kind of it's a trial run before we get back into the rest of these games. But that was the kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of indie games that I kind of took down on them. And then for the main co-op games, I'll not go through each one of these, but I played the Cyberpunk DLC, which was good, very very good game. Bit of Idris Elba in the mixed. Loved it, absolutely loved it. It was great playing that game again. I don't think I could go back and play the full main game again. I just enjoyed playing the DLC. If they released another DLC pack, I'd buy it day one, because it was just so good. The game is night and day compared to what I played it like on release. Astrobot was the other, which I'll probably talk about that later on, but so good with that game. Dead Space Remake, played that. I actually really really enjoyed that. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga, I played that entire game, the mainline that one, so there was like kind of 9 of those wee kind of mini ones. And I also played Forspoken, which I actually really really enjoyed. I know Gary hated it, absolutely hated it. But I've really really enjoyed it. I don't know what it is, just I quite enjoyed just to kind of switch your head off, and there was actually still quite a bit in the main story that I thought was actually quite sad at points and stuff, so I just quite enjoyed it, the twists and different things happening. So I really enjoyed that one. That was my kind of my mix. So my target was 3. I'd say I think I managed kind of 5 in the main one. So I'm ready for my next challenges, my New Year challenges. I'll talk to Gary later about them, let him think about it. Maybe we'll do a 6-month milestone just to make sure I'm still hitting my tracks. But because I've creeped into some bad habits, and I've got kind of 2 or 3 games on the go started, and so that's I need some behavioural correction, to be honest.
Hey, me too, man. I've been playing like so many random indie games that I've started but I've just not finished yet.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, especially for myself, if I get too far into, like, if I get more than a third of the way through the game, and then I stop for like a month, I kind of feel like, oh, I need to start again.
Yeah.
Like I can't just pick up from a third, but then I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered to start again, so I'm just not going to play it. And then that's it. It's over. So I need some correction as well, Gary. I want to be on the same course that Mac is on.
See, the problem is, right, I correct people, but I overcorrect myself. So, see, like, for example, the Batman game, the one I wanted to play was Arkham Knight was the last one, but I was like, I can't do this, I need to start all of the games. Because that's what I did to myself. Even Spider-Man, I was like, I wanted to play Spider-Man 2, and I was like, no, I need to start for the start again. So that's
just be glad you didn't want to play Final Fantasy 16. Then you're screwed, bro.
Don't let him think, because that's what he's just got. He just got that, didn't you, at Christmas there? So he's going to need to go and finish 7, because they didn't finish
they're all
7.
They're not connected. You'll be fine.
I know that's what I always say to him, and he's like, no, but it's it's the second game.
It's the history.
It's the second game.
I need to know its roots.
He did that with me with South Park, because I got the second game, Fractured but Whole, and he was like, you've not played the first one, and I was like, but I don't want to play the first one. No, but you need to play the first one. I'm like, fucking
you won't
shut
get
up.
the references, Sean.
Totally different game. I know. To watch a fucking South Park. And he was right. So good. But I went back. I went back and played the first one in the end. But no, I was determined, and powered by spite, I made sure that it worked for me. But there's certain things that I'm the same as you, Rahul. Horizon, I feel like everybody keeps saying how fucking good Horizon is, and I'm like, I don't see it. I'm not into it. But I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna give Forbidden West another go, because I did enjoy the first game, and I started playing it, but I picked it up for like probably is about a third through it actually. Picked it up for there, and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm enjoying playing it. It does take a wee bit to get back into though, because you've got to almost kind of free run a wee bit and just go, right, what the fuck is it that I was doing? And a couple of side missions have helped me, if I'm honest, just detract, take me away from the main mission and just kind of get minded back in what everything's happening. So I think there's definitely some games benefit for the others, but I just think you need to be in the mood. See, if you're in the mood to play a game, that's the main thing in it, just to kind of draw you back in again.
I don't know what it is about Horizon. It just doesn't click with me either. It's just one of the games, isn't it? Like all the aspects sounds like it should work for me. Like sort of no strategy, like survival, caveman, robot dinosaurs. I mean, what's not to like? And then it gets put together, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't know what it is. I just don't like this game.
It was a hard sell. The second game, I think it's just one of the games you've got, you either love it or hate it, I think. And then I didn't enjoy when I played it the first time, but I think when I started it, and I think that's when Elden Ring came out. That came out literally like the next week or something, and I wasn't really intending to buy it, but to go back to Al again, it was my birthday, and he generously sent us some money over PayPal, and I thought, you know what, fuck it, I was thinking about it, and I'm just going to go for it, and I pre-ordered the game Elden Ring, and then I found out that it was a Souls game, because I didn't realise that it was a Souls game, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? I fucking pre-ordered it now, and I was like, fuck it, man, it'll be alright. And many streams and deaths and clips and videos and Twitch things and stuff later. So maybe I should go back and play that on stream again, because it was a fucking laugh. Somebody actually always talks to me about that. They're like, oh, there was one night I was playing it, I was fucking desperate to beat this boss, and I beat it, and I nearly jumped out my chair. I was so happy that I beat this thing. It was fucking, it was ridiculous.
It's a special kind of game if it can elicit that kind of response.
Aye, 100%. I don't think I could. I can't really play a lot of the other ones. Like, I can't bring myself to play a lot of the other ones. But I loved that, because it was just kind of bite-sized, in areas, like, I'm just taking this boss on now, like, it wasn't like, oh, by the way, you've got a boss, but can you just complete this first whole entire level again? I mean, like, fuck off, man, like, just let me fight this guy again. Like, I don't mind dying 10 times to something, but no, if I have to speed run through a level first just to get to the boss. So I'm not sure how much I could go back to that kind of thing, but it's just what it is. So anyway, I did touch on the co-op ones. Gary, I'll throw it back to you, mate, if there's any other ones that we want to give a wee mention to that we played last year.
I mean, Helldivers, I know we started it together, but Helldivers is one that I just fucking love. I've played this game basically since it came out, and as Mac says, he's not playing with me, so I've just been playing every time I get like a wee half an hour, 40 minutes, I'm like, I'm going to jump on Helldivers just for a wee level on it, and it's just so good. It's even so good to even play with random people. Don't get me wrong, there's times you can get people who are shit at it and they like kill you constantly and you're just like, oh my god. But do you know what, that actually adds to the fun sometimes. It depends if you're in the mood for it or not. But how many times recently I've had amazing games with people and people just know what they're doing, and nobody's even talking in it, they're just pinging, oh there's baddies there, blah 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 blah. It's just so good. Just such a get in there, gritty, boom, explosions, love it. And they've just added the aliens that fight back with guns.
Right.
The Illuminate.
Yeah.
So good. The only thing is with the update is I keep getting network connection crashes, which this new update has done, but they're supposedly on it and they're going to fix it, which I've not had an issue since this game came out. So it's just obviously the update that's just done it, but give them that. But so good, I absolutely love this game, and I'll continue to play it. As I said, I usually you have a main game and a side game, which are usually like a sports game like FIFA or whatever, UFC or something. But Helldivers has been my side game for this entire year, all the way up.
Have you played it, Rahul?
Just so good.
I've played it. My flatmate has it, but I've never got properly into it. I've played like 1 or 2 missions just to see what it was about. I had a good time, but it's just one that I just never really got into. Yeah. Like, I can see how it'd be fun, especially if I had like a squad that I could jump on with like consistently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just been too many games, man. 2024 had too many good games.
There was a lot to keep us busy. I think one of the problems, and Gary highlighted it before, and absolutely no offence to Ben when he eventually listens to this, but we played it with Ben and Hoodie and Matt, and the first week that we got it, they had already had it for a week or two, and they played during a couple of like double XP weekends and stuff, and they just were so far ahead of us that when we jumped in, like, we didn't have like half the shit that they had, and like Matt could literally jump in your team and just win you the game himself. So it was just one of the things where I was like a wee bit dissuaded, because I felt like I was playing it for quite a while and I wasn't really getting anywhere in terms of the unlocks and stuff, and getting through the battle passes and that. So I got a couple of the battle passes and done a couple of stuff, because we were talking about, I'll make sure we equip your whatever the fucking word is. It's like a bonus or effect, whatever it is. And I didn't even have one of them yet, and that was just a small example of just no quite being at the same speed, and I don't know, I just felt we were going obviously going in on some of like the harder settings, because the other ones were just far too easy for them, and I don't know, I felt like I was trying to speed run it just to level up rather than like playing
actually just taking your time.
And
I think for me, Helldivers came out during the like JRPG like just Fiesta season, was like it was, I mean, like, so Tekken 8 came out end of Jan, and then it was just like Yakuza, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, FF7 Rebirth, and Persona 3 Reload. They all just came out within like a few weeks of each other. I think Helldivers was in that mix around that time, and it just passed me by.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So good.
I
would say if you've got an interest in it, definitely go back to it, because they've updated it with like gigantic monsters and stuff like that. They're just fucking huge tanks, and there's like basically like in the robot world, there's like a transforming like sort of like, well, it doesn't transform, but it's like it's like an AT-AT almost. No, an AT-AT. It's like that. So they're just big, colossal, big fucking machines now. So it's but anyway, it's so good. We'll definitely got to get back to it one day, Sean.
Aye, probably. It's hard to motivate yourself, because I was like, do you know what? I should play that, but I'm like, I don't fucking really want to play it now. You know, like I don't have the notion to play it, because I don't know. It was good, but I just felt like there was just something no repetitive about it, but there just wasn't enough at the start, and then they obviously slowly started drip feeding stuff in. I feel like maybe if everything was there at first, then I would be alright with that. You know, they had the cars. I think they're either in it or about to be in it or something.
I don't know.
And then they had the mech suit things, which are quite fun to use. I wouldn't. I'm not writing it off, but I'm not like eager to go back to it just yet. As Rahul says, there's so far too many games that last year to go into that. But we did the Helldivers, and as I said, we did Mudrunner. We actually went for Mudrunner into SnowRunner because when we finished Mudrunner the week that we finished it, funnily enough, SnowRunner ended up coming out on PlayStation, a discount, on PlayStation, and the two is bought it. So it's very, very similar. It's the same studio. It's just in the next step on kind of thing. This time, and funnily enough, we actually never even managed. We did one night in the snow, because the first map is entirely in the mud, and it's just a big step up in the systems that you can do, and you're transporting a lot of different stuff rather than just wood. So it was pretty fun getting that kind of thing. I think we end up unlocking, Range Rovers and all this kind of stuff. We played it for hours, good 50-60 hours or something like that. So that's probably a game that I would love to go back to again, because it's just chill. You literally just jump on and playing that.
I don't know about chill, but
aye. I like driving a bit with the Range Rover and scouting and doing stuff, but there was a lot of angry, especially on some of the later maps when we hadn't get a lot of unlockables in terms of save places and vehicles nearby to help us. Like we kept tipping the car over, and basically the engine just cuts out and you're fucked. You've got to just restore the car back to. And if you've not got a garage nearby, you're talking like a good half an hour, 40 minutes. Fuck, that's you can't get that back. All you've got is don't go that way next time. So it's good, and I look forward to go back. I think I've entirely skipped over the fact that we played Sea of Thieves for a good few weeks. Played that like 2-3 times a week, and since it came to PlayStation, I bought it again on PlayStation, and we kind of played it for quite a bit. Loved it, absolutely loved it. I think we might have spoke about it in the May episode, but that was really, really good. And yeah, we did the SnowRunner, and then one night we just decided to start Medieval Dynasty, which is just like a city building co-op game, and it's set in the medieval times, but you've got to go and cut wood and farm and hunt, and then you can recruit villagers. So you build houses and recruit villagers to come and work in your village. So we're kind of playing that. We're about nearly 40-50 hours into that game now. So that for me, that's kind of up there for one of my favourite games I think I played last year. And we only started playing it fucking 2 weeks ago. But it's really, really
it's
good.
Great. I think Ben said it great the other day when he was watching it. He was like, "This is like a Skyrim base builder," and I was like, "That's exactly what it is like." When you play it, it even looks like it. Apart from there's no mythical creatures in it. It's like supposed to be like real life, but it's that's exactly what it does look like, and it's no as janky as Skyrim as well.
Aye, somehow. By the way, I don't want any mythical creatures in that game whatsoever, man. The bears are enough. Still struggle to take down any of them. So we don't have any armour. Playing it for like 40-50 hours, we've not a fucking lick of armour about us. Sometimes in the summer we run about with no shirts on, so that just shows you what you've got in that game. You've literally nothing. You start with nothing, but that's just what it is. Any of you got any other ones? Any special mentions for?
Did you talk about our first 3 months or our 4 months? We played Farm Simulator 2022.
We spoke about that in May though, so I just thought, you know what, I know what I go back out of that,
Oh,
'cause
right,
then I might end up playing it again. But actually, I will probably play it again. I'll play it again soon. I've got Farming Sim 25 in the wrapper.
In the cellophane.
In the cellophane. I've got that at Christmas. So that is coming soon, very very soon, to a stream near you. That's what I think is.
Well, a small summary of that probably took us for our first 5 months of the year.
Aye,
we played like 150 hours.
Aye, something like
that, and that was only like a Friday night or something like that.
Aye, it was so good, so good.
Wow.
It was one of the games, like, I probably would have done that again with this game, in Medieval Dynasty, but this one, because it's a single instance thing server, like, so I host and then Gary joins my save, but we've kind of made it a deal not to play it unless the two is our own. Otherwise we probably have a castle by now, because I just obsessively play the games, and we do, especially during the holidays there, with Gary was working different days or different stuff with kids and that, so but on Farming Sim I did all the kind of like repetitive nonsense work, and then we'd come on and we'd just take it to the next level again, and it's ridiculous. I was playing that game, and then at lunchtime at work watching people playing that game.
This is a real testimonial for farm. Are you sure we're not sponsored by Farming Sim?
Honestly,
we need the next stream. You need to be wearing like a hat, and like your whole setup is like a tractor, like the inside of a tractor. Like, oh man.
I think
John Deere.
I think if I did that, I would almost be welcomed in by the farming community. At that point, I know very friendly with a farmer who comes into our work to print drawings and stuff, and I have spoke to him in season when it comes to it next year. I'm actually going to be able to, hopefully anyway, be able to get into his combine or big tractor or whatever, and see what it's like in the inside. Nice. So I'm going to hold on to that, I think, because I would just love to experience that kind of thing. It's like every year, every day thing for him, seeing these big things, but I just do it virtually, so it'd be pretty cool to see that. So we'll see what happens. But Farming Sim, something unreal, absolutely unreal. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what I'll do next time I play it. I'm going to try and mix it up, because last time we just did virtually the same thing. We beat the game almost, we had funny money by the end of it, so I need to make sure I don't do the same again this year, because otherwise it's just pointless, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's a good shout. A proper cornerstone of my history last year was Farming Sim, Gary, so yeah, well caught with that one. Any other ones you can think of, any other standout ones?
So there was a wee indie that I caught, just one random wasn't busy and just was like, I'm going to put this on just see what it's like, and it was called Road 96.
Oh aye.
It was like sort of like a Telltale game, sort of like based in a fascist kind of like, I suppose it's supposed to be like America, or so it's no, it's not called America right like that, but it's got like weird and wild characters in it, and you play as like different travelers, so every time you die you start back as a different traveler and try to go through and get to the end of the road, funny enough. But in the road you meet all these different weird and wild characters, but then you keep meeting them in different scenarios with all different travels, but it all makes like one big story. And it was brilliant. I ended up getting the platinum and everything. Easy nice. Platinum, I know. Easy platinum as well. Like, it's literally like one playthrough, kind of like a full playthrough platinum. Sean would love it.
Sounds good to me.
It's, what I thought to myself, see the Telltale days and all that, I thought they well past me. I was like, I'm no fucking sitting playing a game and I'm just watching it. And I played that and I was like, this actually interested me again. I like Telltale games, but I don't know if I could go back, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was a weird random game that just came out and just stuck with me. And it's got a really good, nice, chilled out, relaxing soundtrack as well. The soundtrack's actually pretty good. I've listened to that a few times in my real life Spotify. It's not quite what Raoul's like with Tekken, mind you, but I don't think it made the list.
No. I've been tempted to play that after you'd mentioned it before. So I'll maybe check that out.
And Astrobot, as you mentioned earlier, Astrobot. I just got it just there for Christmas, and I've been playing it, and I'm like, this game's fucking phenomenal.
It's so
Is it so good?
It's
right actually so good.
It's not right to be that good. It's probably, I would go as far as saying, it's one of the games that I've looked back at the year and I'm actually smiling playing the game. Just stupid wee things, different stuff. No wanting to go into it, and I don't want to really talk about it too much at all. Astrobot, because I just feel like for anybody who hasn't played it, make sure you go and play it. Just the special levels, I'll say that at different points, different stuff that comes up. It's just it's unbelievable. The amount of different things that's in that game is wee nuggets. Really enjoyed it.
When you play it, you think to yourself, like, all right, I've played a full, I suppose, chapter, and you think to yourself, right, I've probably seen most of the stuff in it. And you go to the next chapter, and it's like, oh, by the way, here's a different power, or here's a different thing, and you're like, wow, it's totally like changed the game.
Aye, night and day.
Aye.
Right, okay. Rahul, you got any other ones before we move on to the next?
I mean, I've played a lot of sort of smaller indie games. I can shout out a few. I won't go into too much details on more, but so I played this one recently called Nine Souls. Right. The best way to describe it is like Sekiro, but as a 2D Metroidvania. And right. Man, it is fun. Like the combat, it's one of those games where the first mini boss I came against, I lost 25 times in a row, but I wanted to instantly go and fight that boss again. Like it was like, oh, I died, but I'm like, I need to go again. It took me like an hour and a half of just constantly fighting it, but I beat it. Super satisfying. So recommend that. I played this point and click adventure game called Locomotive. So it's like a murder mystery, but it happens on a train. It's like pixel art, published by Chucklefish. Really, really good. It's all fully voice acted. Really, it's like comedy, kind of like a comedy murder mystery game. So it's got like a kind of goofy protagonist, but it's all voice acted really well, and you've got all your very like over the top characters in it. So that was really fun. That's again, not finished it. Like I've just started a lot of these games, but not finished it.
I'm seeing a lot of myself in you, Rahul.
Yeah. I was playing this game called Peglin. It's like a pinball kind of game where it's like a roguelike pinball game. That's the best way to describe it. Really, really fun. Yeah. There's this game called Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom, it sounds ridiculous, but it is a 3D collectathon, like 3D platformer collectathon, but you play as this yellow taxi, and it's basically, imagine Mario 64, but you play as this strange taxi, and it basically completely is satire of Mario 64. Again, hyper indie game, but yeah, I think those are some of the ones that just popped into my head. I could go through my Steam list for the next half an hour, but I don't want to take.
Me and him have done that enough, mate. Me and him have done that enough. Don't you worry about it.
I will just say 2024 has been a great year for indie games, and I think 2025 is equally looking great. But I'm sure we'll talk more about that as we go through the draft, because I've got some nice indie picks up my sleeve.
100%. We are almost there for those chatting at the bit, waiting for us to get into the fantasy critic draft. I just wanted to ask the boys one more question, so I'll start with Rahul, just in case he has anything that you didn't manage to play, or you wished that you maybe had time, or maybe even hoped to try last year. Rahul, did you have anything that you kind of thought, I'm going to get to that, and you just ran out of time?
Big one was Astrobot. Like, I So first of all, I was trying to buy it physically because we have multiple PS5s in my house. So we were like, oh, let me, like, my flatmate has one. So I was like, we buy it on disc, we can kind of share it between us. But for some reason, it just wasn't in stock anywhere. I think there was some big shortage at Game, like the shop Game.
Yeah.
They had some kind of supply issue, so it just wasn't available. So I couldn't get it for ages. Then I went on holiday to America for a while, and then by the time I came back, there was other stuff. So I've played maybe the first 3 or 4 levels, and I really enjoyed it, but I've just not got around to finishing it yet.
Yeah.
So that is in my backlog and is one that I want to get back to for sure.
I think it's one of the games that if you're feeling it, you're in the mood to play it. I think you just have to keep going and just keep going. And I actually I was playing it, and do you know, I was no teasing myself, like, but I was just playing a wee bit, and I was like, I'm just going to play one level tonight, and then, you know, tomorrow night I played one, and then we would do we were playing some co-op games at the time, so we would do that, and I couldn't play it downstairs. I did a lot of my gaming remote kind of accessing the PlayStation using the Steam Deck, and obviously you lose the trigger haptic feedback and that kind of stuff, and that's a big thing in Astrobot, obviously, as you know. So I had to kind of abandon it and only play it when I was upstairs. So I had to be a wee bit disciplined, and there was a couple of nights out and a couple of different things that I just made myself, like if Ellen was at the house, I'm like, right, I'm going upstairs and I'm just going to sit and play this game for, you know, 3 hours at a time or whatever, because it's just so good. So that's a pretty big one, I would say. And then my go ahead. No, you go better, you go for others.
I was gonna say the only other big one I want to mention was Indiana Jones, because I'm a fan of the movies, at least the first 3. Like, I've watched them a lot when I was a kid, and when it got announced, I wasn't particularly like hyped around it. I was like, oh, I mean, like, I don't know, the first person perspective I thought was a bit strange. I was hoping it'd be a bit more like Uncharted, like.
Of course,
But then, you know, a lot of positive reviews. People are saying it's fantastic, and people are loving it. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll try and get to this if I can. But I couldn't get to it. But I think it's okay, because I don't think my PC can really run it, because it looks to be really intense, like the requirements. And it is coming to PlayStation next year, so I think I might just wait until then and pick it up on PlayStation.
Is it at 2026 or this year? Like,
I was in 25. Sorry, 25 is coming.
I wasn't sure. I just wanted to check that. To be honest with you, but that's a good segue. Believe it or not, as if we planned it. But we had a wee thing in May. Obviously, with our last podcast, we done a list, a little short list. Me and Gary, where we were talking about what games were coming in 2024 and which ones were we excited to play. So I thought I'd work this in to see how we performed and measure us up against what we thought we might be playing. So we each picked 3 games. So I'll run mine off, and then I'll hand it to Gary and see how he got on. No spoilers. But I picked 3 games, and one of them was Indiana Jones, more curiosity than anything else. So I will say I started it. I've done the kind of first, the intro, and then a part of the first level. Again, the Xbox lives upstairs. It actually works really well with Game Pass too, streaming it on the Steam Deck. So that's a viable way for you if you. Honestly, it works alright. Like, so you obviously just.
Well, I mean, I have a Steam Deck, but I don't have an Xbox. So.
You don't need that, but just Steam Deck and Game Pass Ultimate for, you know, whatever trial a month. You can try that out. I'll try it again for you tomorrow, and I'll let you know. But I'm sure I did a bit of it, and it ran alright, ran pretty good, especially enough to play it try it out. So I did that. My second game, which I didn't actually get to, was Black Myth Wukong. That was a game that I really wanted to get to, and I've wishlisted it like in 2 different places, I think. I'll just wait. I'm not in a rush because I've got so many other games, so I'll wait it out. But that was one I was pretty excited about, just to see what it was going to be like. And the last one, I had said I was going to play Plucky Squire, which obviously I spoke about. I ended up playing, so quite happy with the target or the aim that I'd set, but more of Indiana Jones I think soon. But it's just one of the games because of the series, because of what Indiana Jones is. I don't want to just play it for like an hour. I almost want to make sure I've set a night aside. You know what I mean? Because you want to get a good chunk of it done.
Immersed in it.
That's it. So I think that's probably my biggest crime, if you want to call it that. A game that I wanted to play in the last year, but we'll see where that lands next year. But Gary, have you got the note of the 3 games? Do you want me to read them out?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I will hand it over to you. On you go.
So Star Wars Outlaws was my first, which I have not played. Undisputed. It was another one, which was a boxing game, which I also have not played. And my third one was Assassin's Creed Shadows, which ultimately got delayed. So
nice. So you're 0 for 3.
Yes, 0 for 3. But this is my gaming backlog right here that I've got. So I've got Avatar.
Oh, what have we got?
Avatar, Star Wars Cellophane, by the way. Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. Dragon Age.
UFC 5. And Final Fantasy 16.
Oh,
so that is my backlog that I'm going to get this year. That's it. The other ones are getting done. Undisputed got really bad reviews, so I was a wee bit like, stay away for that.
You can let that one go.
I know I was raging as well because I was pure looking forward to like a fight night game. I've been dying for a fight night game for years, and then this comes out. Hopefully with a couple of patches and stuff like that, maybe it'll fix it. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I feel like we Ghost of Tsushima, which we'll probably talk about later.
Yeah,
that might get overshadowed.
Yeah. Hey. Oh.
But yeah,
nice.
I'm actually quite glad that I never played Star Wars as well, because I heard that a lot of people that I knew like started Star Wars when it first came out, and they were like, "Oh, it's like really
a little bit
buggy and like really bad." And then like Ben and Hoodie have just played it like recently, and both of them have said like a couple of glitches, nothing that bad, but it's like good. It's really, really good, and I was like, good. I'm glad I've waited. I mean, it's a Ubisoft game. You've got to wait at least 6 months. If we know learned these lessons by now.
100%. 110%. I actually, I just started that Outlaws, and they definitely agree with a wee bug here or there, but nothing too. It was like different. To kind of get access to something, you just have to run away and come back, and it's fine after that. But by the way, that was a fucking terrible joke. I just stepped away for the thing, but. It was that's what the Vault Dwellers is, isn't it? Good jokes caught in the moment. I might write that one down. I had a wee idea to do that kind of thing for us. So we'll see how these land outside of this world.
The other game that I missed out on that I wanted to try was, of course, Concord.
Oh, of course, and do you think you'll try that this year?
Just for the memes, I wanted to try it, and man, it was just gone too quickly.
Too fast. That was literally probably launched during your flight back, and by the time you landed,
it's gone. Probably something close to that.
So that's fair dues.
Who would ever predicted that game would have failed?
Oh, imagine.
Yeah.
Fair dues. So it's that. Obviously, you've got your backlog there, Gary. So that's you probably set in it for a good bit then, for terms of games that you.
That's me for at least 6 months until Sean gets me to play Farm Sim 25. Then that's me for about another year probably. I
won't influence anybody. I'll just take my time, and people will flock to me. Build it, and they will come. That's what it is. Set my streams up, and the people will come. No, it's all good. I enjoyed that list. That's a good list of games for wishing that you'd played as well. It speaks volumes probably to the amount of stuff that came out last year that we're able to just have these at hand. I mean, I have 3 games behind me. Star Wars, just over my shoulder. The Star Wars Outlaws is one of them. Farming Sim 25, which I never got to start, just because I played it at the start of the year. So it was on my Christmas list for people to get me, and I knew I would get to it eventually. And the other one is Banishers, that goes to New Eden. So I'll check that out, because people seem to vibe with that, and I like the look of it. So I'll definitely have to.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And
check.
the guy's Scottish in it, so that gets extra points right before he even started.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes they sound like Hoodie in a Scottish accent, and at that point you've just got to say, do you know what? I just don't want to play this. But anyway, enough of that. Before he breaks out the accent, we'll move on. We'll move on to what we all wanted. We all came here for. Let's see how this looks. There we have it, guys.
Hey.
A fresh board, a lovely fresh board. I don't mean Gary's head shining there bright. I mean the Fantasy Critic board that's sitting there right next to us. Love it, absolutely love it. So just to point it back out again and let Rahul take the glory. Rahul last year, absolute champion. He won with a breeze. 3 months I think it took him, and that was him set in motion. Rahul, thanks again for coming back, mate. I really appreciate that. And obviously,
thank you for having me.
You're on the our kind of Twitter X whatever group as well, with the kind of funny best friends too. You're on that one every year, which is its own thing. Obviously it's massive. There's a good number of players in there. I think it was at 10 or 11 or something like that. It's
I think a lot
of people, and it's very challenging, very difficult to try and make sure that you're going to be able to pick one good game, 2 at a push, and it's just a very different tactical way of looking at it. But here we have 4 players, so we always manage to have something a wee bit special. So last year, as I mentioned earlier, we demoed something a little bit special, which was that we couldn't drop any games. This year we're changing that to 1 drop. So 1 drop will be able to lose one of the games, and again we've got the 2 counter picks, and the other rule that we put in was that we had to leave 3 slots until I think it's the first Saturday in August. We said the last time. Was that the one? So it just kind of keeps an interest. Means that you've get any games that come out before then, you're not able to claim if you've already filled your spots with different strategies. We try to fill really quickly. Rahul snaked us all and managed to fucking counter pick Hoodie's Suicide Squad like the first day after we drafted. So fair play to you, Rahul. Won you the fucking league, to be honest. Because we've got 2 counter pick slots, and that's also worth mentioning. We also have Hoodie in the podcast sphere, and so he's also joining us for this part of the stream. Unfortunately he's not able to actually attend, so he has the auto draft, and what he'll also do is we'll put a pause at the counter picks, and we would have to do that offline, so we'll catch you guys up with the counter picks, once those are complete post stream. It's the kind of fairest way, I think, in terms of being able to pick something. And to be honest with you, it's no real benefit of making sure that that's done right away, because let's be honest, there's a lot of fucking stuff here to pick through, and there are probably going to be bangers, so it's negative points galore that you're trying to get for. Do you know, the only thing I'm unsure of, and something that maybe you might know, Rahul, I'm guessing we are probably not going to be able to participate in tomorrow's bids unless everybody does their counter pick by tomorrow.
No, we won't.
midnight.
Yeah, so bids resolve at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
So it'll be like 1 a.m. on like Sunday when it resolves for us.
Right.
So if the first round of counter picks are done, then in theory we can do bids tomorrow.
Yeah.
Up to you whether, I mean, we might want to just give everyone a week.
Yeah, give him a week. Yeah, I would say give him a week.
I would say I'm not in any rush. I think I'll be first, won't I? Because it's the reverse, so it'll be my I'll be the first to counter pick. So I might even just wait and just not do it until Monday, and then that gives people during the week to get that done, and then that means that the first bids are going to be next week. Gives people time to think about it and see if they want to actually bid on anything, because it's, as I say, there's a limited amount of picks and stuff. So what we'll start off with is when we get kicked off, the draw order is going to be Hoodie, Rahul, then Gary and myself. Rahul, as the champion of last year, gets the first pick. We'll get to that in a wee second, but he gets to guarantee his first pick game, so we'll let him declare that just as we are about to start. First, let's go through the team names for this year. So we've got Hoodies. So Hoodie is again the first person, and he's gone with Ducks to be you. So on par, right on point with Hoodie. A little bit of a duck reference. So yep, Ducks to be you is Hoodies. He does love a duck. Absolutely loves it. So that's, and then the second is Rahul. Rahul, your publisher name
is Legal Eagle Games version 2.0, as we are reborn for a new year. And what can I say? We're back. It fits in with my theme, being a lawyer in the games industry.
That's it. No time for nonsense.
Yeah, that's it.
No time for the nonsense. Gary Moore, your publisher name this year?
Is the original Vault Dwellers champion.
He'll hold on to that forever, because that's it. We'll never win again.
What's better than being the champion this year? Being the original.
See, we need an asterisk next to that, because I wasn't there in the original.
No.
There's an asterisk there, guys.
There is no lawyerness about this. We are just playing pure rules, pure Vault Dweller rules.
That's it. Everything counts in the Vault Dwellers universe. So I've went for I was hoping Gary was going to join me in this approach, but I've been left out in the lurch, so now I just looked like the bad guy. But I have went with Rahul will fall limited. So that's the approach. People who listened to last year's picks will remember that I was very much anti Gary, and I was wanting Gary to fall. But this year I'm fucking Team Gary. And we're going to take down Rahul once and for all, and then we'll see who's the winner next year, and I'll just flip it on its head again. So I've changed my strategy from anybody but Gary to Gary, come on, please claim this back for the Vault Dwellers. So we'll see what happens. Again, thanks everybody, for tuning in, and we've got the visuals up on the screen. If you guys want to come and have a look and see what we're picking as we go, and we'll just get started in a very quick second. I don't know if the guys, if we want to do this or not. Would you just prefer if I blocked Hoodies out and I'll just tell you what he picked, or you just want me just to kind of drop it and we'll
no, just drop it. I'm
just
fine
drop
with
it.
that. My only issue is I hope Hoodie's no picked Rahul's first one is I've
done that. I've checked all that in the background, so
right, that's fine. Cool,
I'll let Rahul theatrically announce his pick. But since he's not done it, I'll just start the draft. It'll probably automatically pick Hoodies, so I'll announce what Hoodies pick is as it comes out the hat, and then Rahul will just kick on his guaranteed pick anyway, because he's second. As obviously before, the rules would have been that Rahul would have been allowed to, regardless of where his position is, Rahul would have been able to guarantee that his first pick, whether he's finished first or when he was picking first or last, his first pick. So yeah, do you know what, actually, since we're on the topic, Rahul, why don't you just throw it out there, mate? What is the guaranteed first pick, just to add in a wee bit of sauce to this mix?
Well, there's this particular franchise I've been connected to for a long time. Its name kind of escapes me a little bit. What is it? Oh, of course, my guaranteed pick. I'm playing with my heart. Monster Hunter Wilds. Let's go, baby.
Monster Hunter Wilds. Very, very good. I love it. Very on brand, and I'm looking forward to this year. Hopefully, we might actually even pick it up as well, and we'll be able to get a few games with you, maybe a few streams or something as well. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good.
Like every game that I've been looking forward to for 2025, and anything in my backlog, it's over when that game comes out. Like no backlog games are being played. It's going to be at least 3 to 6 months of my year is going to be just playing Monster Hunter.
Absolutely. I totally understand it. It's just one of the games. It's one of the same way, the other big game of the year that's coming out. I'm sure we'll hear about soon enough. But that's one of the games that it's just going to stop the gaming world in its tracks, I think, with some people. And we played Monster Hunter Worlds on the PlayStation. We didn't play the Monster Hunter game before. We thought, we like the look of this. We tried it, but actually it didn't click quite at first. But we managed to. We kind of looked up a couple of things, looked up some weapon demos, that kind of stuff, and we actually played it quite a bit until played a lot of them. We did basically finish the full main campaign, and I think we were starting to face some of the alt versions of the enemies. So I can't remember what the versions were. Was it dark or something or?
It could have been tempered, could have been variants, there's a whole lot of other stuff.
So we were doing that, and it just honestly, we were struggling a wee bit. We just had to open it up to let other people join, and our friends for the other side of the globe managed to join in, and they would jump in and just one hit them, and we would take all the loot, and that was us. So we did that for about a week, and then we were like, do you know what, let's just sit this out. We've had our time. It was good, but I'm looking forward to those cats cooking up all my meals, and we'll definitely be checking that out. So I'm going to hit the start drafting button. As I said, Hoodie's pick will probably just start automatically, I assume, since he is the first one. So I'll press the start button now, and then we'll hopefully see it come up on the screen. If not, we'll be able to read it out anyway. So we'll start the draft once started. And Hoodie's first game, so it's not updating on this screen, but it is Ghost of Yoti.
Wow. Ooh.
So that is Hoodie's first pick. Now I did find out about that earlier in the day, just doing my fact checking, to be honest with you, because I was trying to make sure that we didn't have a wee issue with what it is we were going to pick. So but on the screen, Ghost of Yoti, a surprise one, if I'm honest with you, for me, but a really, really good one. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, definitely.
My only thing with that is it going to come out? I mean, I guess one thing I wanted to quickly just talk about strategically with this league is with GTA 6 potentially coming out, there's been so much talk about whether publishers are going to push release dates, just stay out of its way. So I feel like this year's league is going to be so interesting, because everything that's June onwards could just potentially get pushed, and I feel like nothing from June onwards has a set release date. So I don't know. I feel like I couldn't tell you one game which has a set date for June, July, August onwards.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's just kind of waiting for the official release date for GTA 6, and then suddenly all those 2025s are going to become 2026s, and it's going to be interesting. So it's going to be a good year. It's going to be an interesting one.
100%. We'll see that comes out. I'm looking forward to it. I never played the DLC for the first Ghost of Tsushima, so maybe that's something I might even do this year is play.
The multiplayer one, the raid.
No, the island.
Ikishima Island or something.
That's it. So maybe I would do a replay.
That was really good.
A replay and do that. Really a funny story. Not to drag this podcast out even more, but I have this tendency with this one guy in particular. He just talks to me about games at work, but it's sporadic, and he doesn't play a lot of games. But Mario is his name, and I almost spoiled, or I did spoil, I should say, a certain thing that happens in the second God of War, because I thought that's what he was playing, and I said something to him, and he's like, "What happened?" He's like, "That never happened." Because he said, like, "I'm at the end," and I'm like, "Oh, brilliant!" And I said this thing, and he's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Did you know that?" He's like, I was like, "That happened." He's like, "No, I'm playing the first one." I'm like, "Oh, shit." So the fast forward then so he started playing Ghost of Tsushima, and now I'm very, very careful with him with what I say, and he was talking to me, and he says, I beat Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm like, "All right, brilliant. What did you pick?" And he's kind of looking at me, and I never said it, and I never said any more than that. And he's like, I don't remember. And I'm like, fucking red flag, stop talking. And I was like, all right, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And then a week later he came back, and he's like, I thought I was finished. It was just the first bit. He's like, I thought that was it done. And he's like, I put it back on just to check it, and I'm actually on to the next bit. And I'm like, fuck me, imagine I'd said anything well in that. I was like, I just stopped talking to him. I just wouldn't talk to him anymore. So, so we'll see how I got on with this replaying it, because I would like to replay Ghost of Tsushima, because it was a really good game. But like Gary, I just don't know if I would like to replay something and then try and lead into the second game, oversaturation, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we'll see. So yes, Rahula Hoop,
I have picked.
You picked. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
I've locked in Monster Hunter Wilds as we discussed.
It's this stream thing that doesn't update. So I'll just update it at the end of each one. So yeah, next pick then. Cool. Over to Big G.
So what would I pick? I mean, there's loads of games coming out this year. You know, but what would be the biggest game of them all? I mean, I'm really surprised Hoodie didn't pick it.
Hoodie plays with his heart.
I'm playing with my heart, and my heart's for Scotland, and so is this developer. We're going to go Rockstar, and it's got to be Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, boy! Who's not looking forward to this game?
I hope it. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to it coming out in 2026 when it inevitably gets fucking delayed.
No chance this game's coming.
It's unconfirmed. Estimated time fall is what they believe. So I just risky for me. I would have picked it if I was first pick. I'd have still fucking picked it. It's the potential to be a league decider outside the rules picks probably. But yeah. I think it could score. Do you know? It's funny though. It's GTA 5 is such a big thing, a big machine. It's the base to probably one of the biggest like scenes on the streaming fucking era with GTA fucking RP and all that stuff. But obviously it will still score high. But it's just in the current day and age, different writers, all that kind of stuff. It'll be great, but it's just how will it review? That's my fucking that's all I'll say. We great envy.
100.
I mean, man, the hype for this game is insane. So will it live up to the hype? I think it probably will, to be honest, because Lord knows they've had long enough to build this game. It's been 11 years since GTA 5 came out.
Aye.
So they should be all over it, and it should do really well. But will it come out in 2025? Who knows? There's no rush for them, you know.
That's true.
And the market is in the palm of their hand. They can manipulate the whole market with their decisions. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I know, and it's coming out.
All right. Inside, you heard it here first, folks. Exclusive scoop from the G-Man himself. It's coming out in 2025, guaranteed.
Move over every other game.
100%. People are definitely holding it, so we'll soon see. So my first pick, double pick, I might add, double. I'm gonna go for a wee game that we were talking about earlier in the evening. Not sure if it was on stream or off stream, but I'm gonna pick the Split Fiction. I think it could be a big game for next year. Again, obviously it's March, so we'll see how it lands. But it seems to be out of out of the zone, and I just think it could be a good big game. Good big points, you know, by how the last game landed.
Like previous game, It Takes Two scored 90. Game of the year it came out. So same studio, Haze Light.
Yep.
Concept looks very similar, but probably just using the magic and the techniques they learned from the first one and building on it.
Yep.
I have no doubt it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And of course, it has that Q1 release date, so it's going to come out, I think.
100%.
Which is the important thing.
That's key, yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'm playing It Takes Two again. I played half it with Gary before. I'm playing again just now with the better half, as I mentioned earlier, and some of the things that they were doing, you know, between the scenes, you know, as you're running through, and your you know your co-op partner is literally on the screen right, you know, half split right next to you, and it's like totally different aspects sometimes, and you know it's mad the amount of stuff. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with the next game. So that could be a big one. So I thought just start with that. Next one, I'm going to go Q1 again. I'm going to take a wee bit of. I'm just going to have to go with this because it reviewed fairly decent the last game, but I'm going to go with Civilization as my next pick. I don't play the Civilization games, but as that's not a prerequisite to picking the fucking thing, I just want points. I just want to beat Rahul, so I'm going to take Civ and see where that takes me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, Civ games always review well. They're always like solid 80 pluses, and again, it has a release date, like a confirmed release date. So I think that's a very fair pick, and I think it'll do well.
Oh, my turn then, innit?
That's the one.
So this is when it starts to get in the nitty gritty now. So I'm like hyped to myself. Do I play like Raoul, or do I play like Gary? On this pick,
we'll see where playing like
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you do whatever the hell you're going to do, man.
I feel like one of the games that I'm going to pick is a chance that it just might no show face, but I feel like if it shows face, it might fuck some shit up.
Oh, I know what you're thinking of.
But I feel like the other game, as we've said, has got a release date, so we know what's coming. Fuck it, I'm going for that one. So I'm going to pick Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. That's what I'm going to go for.
Nice one.
Wee bit of fun. Do you know, funny enough, I've never even played Like a Dragon game, but I've played the Yakuza like series 1 to whatever it was. 6, 7, whatever it was.
Oh, really?
0, sorry. I've played all the games, but I've never played a Like a Dragon game. Just as it is. I know Raoul will be looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
I just threw a spanner right in his works area. He's like, bastard.
Yeah, because I like the Yakuza game, and again, as it says, it's got the confirmed release date, Q1, so it's gonna get points. But you know what? Considering that you've got GTA 6, I think we're gonna have to take some risks if I want to take you down. So I'm gonna take the game which I think you've decided not to take, and I'm gonna take Doom: The Dark Ages.
That wasn't the game. That was another game.
Was it another game?
You weren't thinking about that. Oh dang.
So Hoodie has a double pick, and he has picked Assassin's Creed Shadows and Little Nightmares 3. What do we think about their games?
Man, I mean, Shadows is a bit of a rough pick because I don't know, man. It was delayed like what, a month before it was supposed to come out or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was only delayed by 3 months. I don't know if that means they just wanted to polish it a bit, or if there was more of a strategic reason for pushing it out of 2024. I don't know. I mean, thing is, I'm sure it looks good, but then there's also all the controversy around it. You know, the main character and why they chose it to be these two samurai characters, one of whom I think is a black samurai, and there was a whole controversy around that, and I just don't know if that's going to feed into the reviews, and I don't know. I think that's a risky one.
Definitely.
Little Nightmares 3, I think, is rock solid if it comes out. I think those games are great.
Yep.
And they get good scores.
Yeah, I was just looking at it there. Obviously, Little Nightmares is estimated as well. We've got a release date for Assassin's Creed. Sorry, right enough. But the Little Nightmares one,
if it makes it,
I should say, right enough. Projected points of 8.6. I would anticipated Little Nightmares to be higher than that, but we'll soon see. Projected points doesn't mean too much. At the end of the day, I'd imagine it'd be a good 80 game for that. But yeah, we'll soon see how those land. But good picks again. Hoodie sticks to his mantra, which is I'm going to pick games that I want to play, that have an interest or intent to play it. So that leaves us with some of the good high pickers, which means we don't need to think too much. So I am in full favour of him taking that approach, given that I don't need to then worry that he's going to get in the road. So yeah, fair play to Hoodie. Shout out to you for doing that. Back to yourself then, Rahul, for your third pick.
Man, it's tricky because again, now looking at the top ones on my watch list, they're all ones that just say 2025. Like,
I know.
It could be all 25, it could get delayed, it could, I don't know. So the reason I'm gonna pick the one that I'm picking is because I'm so confident that the Switch 2 is gonna come out in 2025, and I think this is gonna be a launch game for it because the game was apparently in development hell for a very long time. I think it got revealed at the original Nintendo Switch reveal event, and then it just didn't come out for 7 years. And then they showed it again at one of the latest Nintendo Directs. So I'm hoping that they've figured it all out. It's gonna come out with the Switch 2. I'm picking Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Good shout, mate. Good shout. So many games here, like you're saying, that I'm looking at and I'm going, fuck me, that's a risk taking that there. Like, until it gets a release date, do I really want to take that game?
Only good thing is I've got a drop this year.
I want
absolutely done me last year. It's only one.
Just to check, does counter picking a game block it from being dropped?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Right,
sure
now you've just changed all the rules in my mind now. I'm like, do I pick this now? But I'm still going with it. You know what? Sometimes you just need to go with your heart.
That's it, mate. Follow your heart. Let's see it.
So this was the one that you were thinking of before.
I'm going to go with Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I don't actually think this might come out this year. But
you're playing with your heart.
Mate,
you get to play with your heart because you got GTA 6.
That's
basically like two things in one.
Certainly got a bit of wiggle.
I feel like that'll be a solid game if they get it out. The only thing is,
the
only thing is, people might be like, it's no Kojima and blah 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 blah. But if they've still got the formula there. I feel like.
The little trailer they showed looked so good.
Yeah, I wasn't. With Silent Hill, I was like, oh my god, that game looked utter dog shit when I seen the trailer, and then it came out and the reviews were amazing, and I was like, oh, so maybe they do have something to go on. So yeah, that was why I picked it. And it's
very nice, very nice.
I can't say that I'm confident.
Also, how many games do we draft right now?
6, I think, and it's because it will leave 3. That leaves 3 and 3. So I'll do.
So then we get. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I think that's right, is it not?
Yeah, yeah, because then we do 3 between now and August, and then 3 after August, right?
I'm sure that's right. Aye.
That's right.
So does that mean that? So I've got the double, and then it will come back to me for the double. Is that's what it's going to be then? Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Strategy. It gets to this point now where you're like, right, do I need to use my picks for something that I think nobody will pick? Or do you know what I mean? But I did this last time, and Gary still picked the game I thought he would never fucking pick. So I think he's a wee bit of a fucking dark horse wildcard. So I think I'm going to have to go safe one pick and then throw a wee bit of points in or try and do something with the other one. So I'm actually going to go, because I really like the look of this one. It reviewed fairly decently at the end of the year. I actually thought it was coming out soon when I seen it the last time. And unfortunately it isn't. But it is coming out in Q1. I'm going to go for Avowed as my third pick. I think it looks good. I think Obsidian's, more than proved that they belong and have a good seat at that table, and I think that's probably going to be a fairly good game in it. And I think it's one of the games. It's probably not the highest and everybody's most anticipated, but I just feel like right now with the way things are points wise and different stuff, I'm just going to go for this. Now the next game, again, Rahul, my list is for like a couple of TBAs, a 2025 or two, but there is a couple with some dates against them, and I'm going to miss out on one of them just out of fear that I'm not entirely sure about it.
Let the fear guide you, Mr.
Do you know what it is as well? I don't think I have any of these games anyway in the other one, but I don't want to deliberately pick a game that I have in the other league either, because I don't want it to let me down twice, because that's happened to me before. So I'm going to skip out on this one, and I'm just going to have to go this one. I might butcher the name of this because I've no fucking clue what that is, but I'm going to go with a wee bit of this Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Man. Son of a bitch.
That's what I'm going to pick as my fourth pick. Just purely because...
I'm so excited for that game, dude. If that comes out, I mean, when they showed the trailer and like the storyline and then the turn-based combat, I was like, this game is a bit of me. Like, fuck me. I'm so ready for that.
Good.
Well,
that
that's a shame.
Points.
You took my next pick.
It means points. Points mean prizes. Let's go. Rahul will fall. Mr. Gary.
This isn't the list that Raul thrives in. This is when he goes away and he picks all these indies that all get like 90s. We don't know anything about them.
Yes. 100%.
That's his strong suit.
Yes.
I'm looking for the next Balatro, man.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking, try to think developers, try to think, well, who, like what Raul said, Nintendo with Switch, that was actually one of the picks I was going to go for as well. I was thinking they've got to have something with the Switch, so I'm thinking myself, Xbox, they've got to have something next year. And I'm hoping it's got to be Fable.
Oh, that's a good pick. God. That looks really good. I like the look of the trailer. The couple of good good actors in there as voice actors as well. And
there was this little smidge of a clip. Like, I can't remember when, it might have been like an Xbox developer direct, but there was a tiny like 5 seconds where one of the characters is walking through a town, and it looks like it's in-engine gameplay. And man, if it really looks like that, it looks so. It's like just that classic open world fantasy RPG, which you just can't go wrong with.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's a good. If it comes out, that is a great shout. But I think that's going to be the danger because we just don't know.
I'm 100%. Yeah,
you're 100%.
No.
Hell, you guys. As in you're 100% unsure.
I'm 100% like with you. Sorry, I should say there. Just
I thought it was like you.
Sorry,
and
you
Gary
can come down there.
Gary was like, GTA 6 is confirmed, guys. I know it, and you're just like, oh yeah, Fable's confirmed. I know it. Like, who are you people? How do you know this?
Go team Xbox.
Looking at the watch list, where do we go?
Ooh. Starting to dwindle down, isn't it?
I know. It's because I'm obviously we're talking about the games and I'm like throwing it to people and talking about them and stuff. I'm no like able to sit and study like what's next, what can I pick, I'll just wait until it's almost at me again and have another look. Like, there's a lot of risky picks there.
There are a lot of risky picks. I think this one, the one that I'm tossing and turning over this one, it does have a bit more release date. It was shown very recently at the Game Awards, and it was revealed at the Game Awards. I think the initial reactions from everyone who cares about this franchise was like, "Oh yeah, this looks dope." So I think I'm just gonna go with it, and it's not one that I'm personally like familiar with, but we're gonna go with it. I am drafting Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
You usually get solid reviews. Usually. That is one I would say.
Oh dang! Hoodie has picked up Mafia: The Old Country and Dispatch.
Oh, very good, very good.
See, I feel like they're going hard with that right this minute, but I feel like that's a game where Rockstar could easily turn around, just be like, just 2K, fucking take a minute here, like, yeah, anyway.
Aye.
Oh, and now it's back on me. Now it's getting really tricky.
When you pull your indies out.
No, I'm gonna save the indies because I think that some of my indies are they're so obscure that you guys will just probably not have heard of them. Yeah, I'm throwing shade at you guys.
I know. Do you know what?
That's fine.
It's a strategy, mate. Because if you know what I mean, like if you've got a couple of things like, well, listen, I can back this up, then you just got to wait to the bids in it. So,
yep.
I've done that with a few picks here. I don't think people will pick them. The problem is with this league is it is so small. You really do need 80s. Like a 70 can kill you. 170 can
100%.
just end you.
You know what? This is a league for me. I like considering GTA is on the board. There's a lot of risks going on here. I'm just gonna lean straight into the risks. I'm gonna just go for something which, if this game comes out, is a guaranteed winner, and I think it will launch with the Switch as well, or will be a launch window title for the Switch. I'm going with unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer, which is, I think, if Odyssey 2
rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
If Odyssey 2, if that's what it is, or the equivalent of Odyssey 2 comes out with the Switch, that is money in the bank. But if it doesn't come out, doesn't come out. But you know what? The worst that can happen is I get 0 points for it. It's it's not the end of the world. The upside, considering what else is left on the board, I think the upside is worth the risk.
Definitely. It's as you said, we're playing with a lot of risks at this point. I think that was the difference between last year. I don't think a lot of your first stuff actually got cancelled. I think it was mostly my next picks that got cancelled at the end of the year.
I wasn't sure.
It was the end of the year, I think.
I wasn't sure if one of yours did, and then obviously your biggest disappointment was the one I was referring to earlier that you picked, which was the first game done so well to the, what the fuck is that called, the flight simulator, innit? That came out and reviewed really poorly, and that was almost a guaranteed high 80s game. I would have considered it a high 80s game anyway. So it probably just kind of shows you the position as well that Xbox are in, and that Fable's going to absolutely suck ass. So you know, we just have to wait and see how that goes. Right, Mr. Moore studying away there, writing all his notes, writing fucking War and Peace, trying to find games, looking to what their previous games released is, what the numbers it was. I know all his tricks, he's done it all before. Tell us, Gary Moore, 5th game.
Fuck knows, man.
Oh shit!
This is when it gets hard, and you're just looking at a list, and you're just like, oh my god! Like,
it's the drop thing. I think if we were playing like World Games, if we're playing like with more drops, I would certainly have possibly already picked one of these games that are left. It's just the belief and not having the knowledge as well of whether or not this game, like any of these other games, are going to come out this year. Like if I knew for sure, if I knew with a bit of confidence that one or two of these were definitely coming out or had a high chance, then I would probably pick it already. But
I mean, If Death Stranding, exactly what you've just said there, is just to me, I'm just staring at that game and I'm going, I could just see that game getting delayed for about another 3 years. You know what I mean? Like that's that kind of game, isn't it? It's the kind of game that you're like, it's coming out. No, it's not. See you later. In another year and a half.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go where we indie. Oh, I know.
Here we go. We're getting into the indie portion of the draft.
I'm gonna go for a game called Wonderstop.
Fuck you.
Nice.
It's a game about you basically own like a tea or a coffee shop. I think it is something like that.
It's a tea shop.
It's a tea shop.
Yeah, when you like you like basically
Wait, change your name, Mr. Mac, to Gary.
I'm fucking thinking about it, mate. Honestly, that was my next pick.
You basically like manage the tea shop, but then there's also like an action bit of the game as well. It's sort of like, what was that game called? Moonlighter. It seems like it's like a Moonlighter kind of game. It looks decent for an indie.
Fuck you.
I'm sure I'll be picking that one up.
Fucking dick. I'm looking at it going, no deal, pick that. I'll just get that later. Right, okay. Oh, man.
Your last draft picks.
Last draft picks, exactly. It's a big... I just... Do you know what it is? Like,
John, just go for Kingdom Come Deliverance. I know the last one only got a 60, but go for it.
Did the last one only get a 60?
No, I got like 73 or something.
Did that? That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I mean, it's points. I mean, it's a few points, but
second game's always
not
better.
It's not gonna set the world on fire, you know.
Oh man,
the second game's probably better, but I don't know.
First game.
Oh.
I'm going to go for here.
Oh.
Why is this not one? Oh, maybe I'm just... I'm out. Oh, I'm on the watch list. And I'm just adding and unadding like a certain game over and over again. Got to take risks in life, so I've gone for the Outer Worlds 2. I think another sitting game, but I really enjoyed the first one, and I've still actually I really wanted to go back and play all the DLC for those games. Wouldn't mind doing that actually, but points mean prizes. I think it will come with points if it comes out, and it's just one of the things right now. I haven't won this fucking league. I haven't won any league ever. So, fuckies. I'm just going to have to go with it and see.
And as Gary said, right, the second one's always better.
The second one's always better. And on that note,
Death Stranding 2. Wow.
That's my pick.
God damn.
I think live by the sword, die by the sword. The last pick. I've got to try for it. Got to see. How we go? I've got to.
The counter picking is going to be crazy here.
The counter picking is going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy.
Like, how the fuck do we know which of these is coming out?
100%. I think this might be the best decision to give ourselves a wee bit of time, to try and to think about these ones. I think rather than running through the counter picking. Just now, given the fact that we've actually got 2 counter picks, although the other one you only have to place that by the end of the year. So no rush.
Yeah.
No rush on the second one. So I'll be thinking hard about this counter pick, I think, as we head into next week, and I'll start it probably Sunday. I'll start the counter picking, and that'll mean that we're out with bidding, just to give us a wee bit of time. So I'll just quickly run through my picks. We'll each do that. Just
wait, we still have one to pick each, right?
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
oh, sorry, I was wrapping up today. So
no, it's alright. Sean 6 is all matters. Everybody else's is fucking.
Yeah, oh, Sean needs a handicap. He needs one extra game.
That's it. I fucking right I do. Do you know what it...
So my last game, if that's alright.
Do you know what it was? See on my screen, it was the see how it's blue when it's no your turn. It was still green.
Oh yeah.
after I'd picked that second one, but it just hasn't updated. So I thought it was ready for counter picking. So apologies, you're right. I was ready for saying goodbye and everything. So listen, Gary, take it away, mate. Sixth pick, sixth and final.
So I remember watching the Xbox Critic press conference, and I'm kind of Xbox a bit of love here. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I know.
There was this game. There was this game I was watching when I was watching it, and I was like, "That looks like Xbox's answer to God of War." And this game was called South of Midnight.
What's
and that's
that?
going to be my last. This game
I remember that one.
It's sort of like a fantasy game where you can fly and shit like that, and there's big monsters, like big fish monsters, and honestly, after this, watch it, it just gives that God of War vibes completely. I just think it looks like a really good game. Or did I know the draft that there? I forgot. I think I did the same as you.
It's just that trying to get the... I don't know, it's a bit temperamental, the phone. I thought it was because I have it open on the PC in front of me as well, obviously, for us seeing it on the screen. So
there you go. Sorry, there you go.
No, perfect.
South of Midnight is my last pick. It looks like a banger.
Sounds good. Well, let's see, Rahul, what you got up your sleeve.
You know what? There's something which has been
Hollow
missing.
Hollow Knight's coming. I can feel it for the fifth year in a row.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? No, I'm not gonna. I feel like that's something we can bid on closer to the time, because Hollow Knight I just don't know anymore. Like, I've been burned by it already twice and multiple times in other leagues.
I've done with it as well. What's that game that everybody always talks about on Steam that they want to come out all the time and it's just never fucking...
Half-Life?
Half-Life. That's what this is going to be like. We're going to be talking about it for only 10 years.
So this one comes from a renowned developer. It is absent from these lists, and for good reason. I think it's a bit of a hit or miss game because it's very different to what they normally do. But you know what? I have a lot of faith in the studio, and I think even though it's a more multiplayer-centric game, similar to Helldives, it could have its big moment. So I'm just going to risk it and pick Elden Ring Night Rain.
Oh, let's go for it, aye. I was so close to picking Elden Ring. I think that would score really well. I just wasn't sure, is it definitely coming out? Like... That was
they've said 25 and they said it at the Game Awards. I feel like it's something they've been working on.
Aye, that's a good commitment.
And it's like the thing is, it is a multiplayer game, and FromSoft don't do multiplayer games, really. I mean, they have the summoning people into your world thing, but this seems like a more bite-sized, like, roguelike adventure where you team up with some people, you have like a certain number of days to like kill different bosses, power yourself up, try and take down a big boss, and then if whatever the result of that is, you earn experience, level up, and then you just start fresh again. So I think it could be like a slightly more sort of accessible way for people to deal with the Elden Ring universe and like get involved in it.
That sounds okay.
I don't think it's going to be as hardcore as Elden Ring in terms of mechanics, and even from the trailer they showed, they were like flying around on like birds and shit, and I don't know. It kind of was like, it looked a bit Fortnite-y, in that way. So I don't know. It's a risk for sure, but it's from software. It's got the Elden Ring name. People love Elden Ring. I think it could have its Helldivers moment and be like that co-op multiplayer game for like a little while.
Right. Okay. I'm into the idea of that. I think obviously Gary and me obviously play a lot of kind of co-op games, but I don't think I'd managed to convince him right enough to play any kind of Souls game, in fairness.
No.
No. End of story.
That one nipped to
End
the
of
bud.
fucking story. So the Hoodie's final and last pick is Mixtape.
Nice.
I don't know much about that. Rahul, have you got anything on that?
Mixtape. I feel like it's one of those kind of like Life is Strange like games.
Right. Okay.
Because I get it confused because there's two games that I feel like have a similar aesthetic. So there's one called Lost Records, like Bloom or like Bloom Lost Records or something like that.
Right.
And then there's Mixtape, and they're both like a similar kind of like coming of age type, sort of maybe a walking sim, that kind of vibe.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly what I would say it looks like. Yep.
Right. Okay. All right. With that officially then. Sorry, my premature conclusion of the picks earlier, as I often did. I did that with Rahul last time, where we were talking about what we've been playing, and I just moved to the next section rather than asking Rahul. So, I must. You have a way of distracting me, Rahul. I think that's maybe what the takeaway is for that. So we'll run through our picks just as a front to back. I'll start with Hoodies, and we'll just walk away around. So Hoodie went with Ghost of Yoti, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Little Nightmares 3, Mafia the Old Country, Dispatch, and Mixtape. That's quite funny that he's picked those two, that Ghost of Yoti and Assassin's Creed. It's basically like the same fucking game in it, like for the two, first two. Live and Die by the Sword, right enough. So we'll see how that works out for our Hoodie. Rahul, your picks.
Oh, shoot, should I read? So I got Monster Hunter Wilds, of course. That's gonna be top tier. It's gonna get 90, maybe even 95. That's me thinking with just my heart, no brains involved. It's gonna be the best game of 2025.
So I think with something with beginning with P was absolutely right there. Aye, that's exactly.
What was it? Doom: The Dark Ages. If that comes out, it'll be solid. I mean, Doom Eternal got like 88, and I think the original Doom, like the remake of Doom, got like 83. So I think that'll be solid.
Solid choice.
Metroid Prime 4, again, I think it'll just be good because it's going to come out, launch title on the Switch. That's just a gut feeling. Yeah. I think people are going to buy it and it's going to be good. It's been so long in the making, so I hope that they've figured their shit out. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound looked really good. People who like Ninja Gaiden seem to be very positive about it, so that's just a gut check there. Again, please, Lord, just personally, I want Mario Odyssey 2 so bad. That was like the best 3D Mario game I've ever played. And yeah, I just want that. And then as I said before, Elden Ring Night Rain could have its co-op Helldivers moment and be a big game for everyone then.
Yep.
Good shout. Well, we're on Rules, Gary, it's good to see in it that he's actually only got one game with a release date. The rest of them are just 2025.
We're gonna gamble today, guys. We're gonna gamble today.
He's certainly fucking, that crown must be weighing heavy on that head of his.
Well, I love it. This year was 2024 was the Japanese year, so Raul's not really got a lot of Japanese games to fall back on this year.
He's
his
used
list
them all.
was full Japanese centric.
He's still got his free picks next week, right enough. So we'll see what he pulls at the hat.
We'll see what's in there though. That's true.
Yeah, there's some juicy indies that have not been picked up yet.
Big G.
Don't you worry.
Your games.
So my list: Grand Theft Auto 6, which is 100 out of 100. Like a Dragon, Pirate, Yakuza in Hawaii, which is solid 80. Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater, solid 90.
He knows. He doesn't. He just knows the scores. Gary's got all the. Not only does he know, can he guarantee the game's coming out? He can guarantee the review scores.
But he did well in the Metacritic.
Who is this man? Who is
he? Fable, I would say high 80s as well. Wonderstop, that's one that's, indies, you just don't know where you get them. You don't know if people review them well or whatever, but I'd say solid 80. South of Midnight, 80 plus. Easy.
Can I just say that he has no prep coming into this? I know that firsthand, that he's not prepped a fucking thing before he comes into this.
The only thing
it was like, Wonder Shop's that coffee shop game.
He's no fucking clue. See, just making it up as he goes along.
What we don't realise is that Gary is one of the majority owners of Open Critic.
That's it. Aye.
That's how he knows.
That's how he knows.
Hold on. Metroid 4, a 10.
10 out of 100, aye. No, we'll see. I mean, as I say, I think GTA 6 is pretty much a shoe-in at this point. You know, they have been talking about that. They've said as long as everything goes to plan, it will come out this year. So it's fall is dangerous, but it's just one of the things that could get too close to the time, and they've done it before. Red Dead Redemption 2 was the first Red Dead, I think, was the prime example of that, where they delayed it by quite a bit, but we just don't know at this point, and that's probably the only chance that it will have of getting something for that game. Should be high 90s for a game like that, but we'll soon see.
Solid picks. I think everybody's made solid picks.
It's going to be tough. I genuinely think that the counter picks is going to be what's not coming out, that kind of thing, rather than anything else. So,
definitely.
I'll run through mine then. So, Split Fiction obviously is Raoul says, another Haze-like game. Looking forward to that, seeing what they bring on that one. Civilization, again, I'm not overly overly intrigued or interested in playing those games, which is weird because I quite like a city builder and that kind of game, but I've just never ever looked into them. Avowed, another Obsidian game, as well as the Outer Worlds 2, but I'm really excited for that one. It's reviewing well in terms of the early previews, so we'll see how that goes. Claire Obscure, I've no idea what that game is until I picked it there, but Rahul wanted it, so I'm buzzing that I've got it. That's my sole takeaway for that. He might be selling me a lemon here, but you know what? I'm just going to have to go with it. And my biggest risk. I don't believe this game's coming out, but I just, you know what, I thought I need points, and I just wasn't sure on the Elden Ring one because the DLC came out last year, but I didn't think it would release another set of DLCs. But I didn't know that they put it at the Game Awards because I never watched them. So. Boo on me that I didn't pick Elden Ring, but Death Stranding 2 has potential to be a really big game if it comes out, and you've got to take a risk. Life's a gamble sometimes. You get the rewards out of it. So yes, such concludes the fantasy critic portion of the stream. Really enjoyed this year's one. Some big picks there on the screen on the table, and we will conclude the counter picks over the course of next week, and we'll give you an update in a few months' time, probably see where the first 3 slots have taken us, because obviously we'll have those up until August, and then we'll fill the next 3 after that, so we'll see what happens there. So let us just quickly flick back.
Where did Gary go?
He just disappeared. Don't know, toilet or something.
Okay.
Don't worry about him. So we will. Don't worry about him. That's a mystery.
I was just gonna say, look. Wait, hold on a second, guys. I've got this phone call. Like, hold on. I just need to take this 1 second, guys. What's that? Oh, Odyssey 2's confirmed for the Switch 2. Wow. Damn.
You almost had us there, but that's definitely not what they're going to call it. They're not sensible enough to call it that.
Just texted me and told me the release date is 2026 though. 2026.
What, Doug Bowser texted you, did he? Oh man.
Got my saucies. Don't give them away.
Love it. It's listen, it's all fun and games. Love this. Love the format of this. It's a good wee thing to kick off the year with. We were a wee bit nervous about coming back and streaming after we haven't put anything out for such a long time. But we'll schedule this for Monday. It'll be a nice start to the year. I don't want to commit or make any promises of regularity in terms of moving forward with the streaming. I would love for us to get back into the once a month thing again, because it was really fun to do that and keep that running. We're on episode 30. It's been a big episode. We really appreciate again Rahul joining me. We have one last question of you before we say our final thanks and goodbyes. And I think we already have the answer to it, but if you can confirm what your favourite game was last year and why it was Balatro, then we can let you go.
Well, my favorite game was Balatro, and welcome to my TED Talk, which will last for 20 minutes. Why Balatro is the best game. Yeah. Save your goodbyes, Mr. Mac. I've got to teach you guys about indies.
You can fucking forget goodbyes.
Balatro was my favorite game of the year. I've got so many hours in it. It's just so addictive. I'm still playing it on and off today. Like when I have little pockets of time, I'll just jump in for like 20, 25 minutes and play a run or two. It's just so addictive. Such a clever format and just so much like crazy kind of different challenges and different modes that they've got in the game. And man, the fact that one person did it by himself, just absolutely mind-blowing, testament to the indie game industry. And I'm glad that he absolutely cleaned up at the Game Awards for the Indie Game Awards. I think he won 3 Game Awards. He won a bunch of Golden Joystick Awards.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
that's really good.
They did great. So
that's what you want to see, that kind of thing. I like that. I think it was Stardew Valley that was kind of one developer as well. Like,
yeah,
when you hear that kind of thing,
in that same vein,
it's just so good. Hearing people's commitments to what they've done and what they've brought to things, like it's mad, so good. Mr. Moore, bit of less of an indie for your favourite game, but remind us again for what your 2024 favourite game was.
Well, I've kind of got 2.
No, only one. Fucking hell, man. Come on.
Like, only one. Only one would be
things.
Helldivers. Helldivers 2, it's got to be, because it's a game I constantly go back to. And it just gets better and better as the months have went on. And I'm just still really enjoying it. For day one to now, it's no change. And as Raoul said there, like, with runs, like, you just go through a run and it's just good. It's always different, always feels different as well. They're adding more stuff, defending bases and stuff like that. It just keeps going and going and going, and I'm just really, really enjoying it. Astrobot gets a small mention because I feel it. If I played that would have been my game of the year. But I'm currently playing it right now, so that gets a small mention. It's Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is
it's Gary's
my game of the year.
Old rule still stands. You need to beat a game to declare it as your game of the year. That was his that was his stance. Always will be. But
I know I can't beat Helldivers, but
that's different.
It's, you know what it is.
Same with FIFA. Can't beat FIFA, but it's still a good game of that shit. But so myself and obviously I've got the pick this year at the Vault Dwellers. We rotate who decides game of the year. It keeps things fair and fresh, and that means we don't argue when we just go and try and pick what's the game of the year. We don't have a voting process or anything like that. Somebody just picks it, and I feel like there's no other answer other than Astrobot to be the 2024 game of the year for the Vault Dwellers. It was just something fresh. I can't wait to talk to Gary about it when he gets to the end. He finishes the game. It's unbelievable, and I had so much fun after it, trying to do the time trials and stuff as well, in the post game, doing the time trials, try to beat different people's times and stuff. I'm almost close to removing Matt Ferguson and Ben as friends, just so that I can get to the top of the leaderboards. I beat them once on the new level, and Matt, I think, let me have it for a day and then just absolutely smashed it by about 6 seconds, and it took me fucking ages to get to where I was on mine. So I'm absolutely ecstatic to see where how Gary fares with the rest of the game and what bits that he's enjoying. So we'll see how that goes the next time we talk to Gary. So yep, that's us. 2024's over and by way. We are very appreciative of the amount of games, as Rahul was mentioned, that's came out. It's unbelievable, the amount of stuff that we've got. Our backlogs are, I was going to say they're bulging there, but fuck it, they're absolutely bulging. The backlogs are just unreal, the amount of games that we've got, even for the years prior to that, to be honest, for me. But it's definitely added a few, and we're just trying to see if we can sneak them in and amongst these fantastic games that we've got coming out on the league as well. Hopefully some of them get held back though, especially GTA 6. So
See, you're really on Team Rahul.
Me and you, Rahul. Me and you, mate. I mean you. So, Rahul. Before we say goodbye, obviously, we usually give you the opportunity to tell people, where they can maybe keep up with yourself. Obviously, you do a lot of good stuff in the lawyer world as well. I would love to see you back on the Sunday streams and stuff like that as well, but I don't know if that's in your plans or anything like that. But
I want to, and I mean, I'm thinking about how to do it in a way which is just manageable, like just because. The thing is, if I'm streaming, I feel like I want to do it with some level of consistency, but I also don't want to commit to streaming every week. So I'm thinking like, if I might do little like series of streams where I schedule like, all right, for 4 weeks, I'm going to set like advanced times and I'm going to stream for these 4 Sundays. And then I'll take a break for a bit and then I'll announce the next set. I think I might do something like that. And then I can do little kind of indie showcases. But then at the end of the day, I say all of this, and then I might just get Monster Hunter Wilds and just stream that 24/7 for like days and days and weeks. I might become a full-time Monster Hunter streamer. I might even quit my job. So,
listen, it's everything's potential. Everything's got potential. I think I wouldn't mind seeing you do that kind of thing.
So on that, you can find out what happens and whether I still have a job. If you follow me on Twitter, it's at Rahulahoop with an underscore. I do have Instagram. Well, I don't really post about gaming stuff on there as much, but it's Rahulahoop, but the O's and hoop are zeros. And then my Twitch is twitch.tv/Rahulahoop with an underscore.
Massive, absolutely brilliant.
Can I just say?
Yes.
Can I just say, when you ask Sean if he's going to do farming sim, he needs to get a full tractor. If you're going to do Monster Hunter, you need to be dressed as a cat and be cooking constantly while you play Monster Hunter.
I need to be like in like a wooden tavern with like a big stein of beer, like a big pile of meat, dressed as a cat.
That's it.
Yeah, just a sword across my back. Yeah, right, I'll make it happen.
100%, 100%. Would absolutely love to see that. So, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. What a picture we've got there. So thanks again, Rahul. We'll see you back on soon, I'm sure.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure, mate. It's pleasure's all ours. And let's hope to that we keep up our side of the bargain and we keep up the streaming. As I said earlier, we do have a few we have games and stuff on the Fridays and that, but we'll see if we can do some sort of hybrid thing or something. We'll see what comes of that. In the year to come, we'll get Rahul back on. We'll do some different things that between either a conversational one. I'm sure Rahul will be perfect for that kind of thing. Very insightful is one of the words I'd say for our Rahul. So, as well as our quiz master, which is just one of my favourite things. So, would definitely love another go at trying to take on our Gary. If you want, you can even give me the answers, and I might win at that point. But we'll see. We'll soon see. So I appreciate that. That's up for us. Again, just to quickly mention, and we're in the ends of the podcast. Those sort of hang around. We really appreciate you checking us out. We did have a wee bit of a technical glitch near or through the point where I was thanking Alan, and we did manage to get that back in. If there was a wee bit of difficulty in things during that, I'm hoping that it still picked up my words and recording and things like that. We'll no go back through, but we just obviously want to say thanks and all the nice things, and again obviously everything that we'd mentioned at that time. So just as apologies that the technical difficulties. It's trying to get things back up and running again on the streaming front, as well as recording. That's just a wee bit of finesse needed, but we'll see yous in the coming weeks. I'm hoping that we can get some ideas flowing, and for now, that was the Fantasy Critic draft. Sorry, that was a fantasy critic draft. That's fucking harder to say than it sounds, by the way. And I've been Mr. Mac. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, children.